Hello. Hi. Welcome, everyone. Every member, everybody who comes to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on to see what this was about. My name is Deanna. Welcome to Live on the Set with D. That's my page. And we're going to get into some things on this page. I've been thinking about this for a long time. And basically just been in my head and in my own way. And it's not the easiest thing to get over or to get out of, that's for sure. But I woke up today and I decided to just do it, so here we are. And I thought the first episode should be about getting out of your own way and out of your own head, since I know that's something a lot of us deal with, and something I've been dealing with. It's something I struggle with. Actually, I'm always in my head. I'm an Aquarius and I overthink all the time. So I don't want to do that anymore. You know what I mean? Because I know that I was fearfully and wonderfully made, and I have greatness inside of me, that needs to come out. I know that there are things I need to do that are not getting done because I'm in my head, and I know I'm not the only one who deals with this. So I decided to finally come on here and just start talking. So the first episode for my YouTube page is probably going to be getting out of your own head and getting out of your own way. So just want to tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Deanna, and I'm from Jersey, and grew up, inner city. When you're a child, you really don't really see any issues or any type of trauma or anything like that. Growing up, especially if you don't have anything like that's, detrimental to yourself or your health, like right bold in your face, and you don't know. You have friends, you go to school, you have a good time. We really actually had a childhood. I come from the I'm a millennial, so yeah, we actually had childhoods as opposed to these kids today, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, so like, I don't know, I always had a really vivid, crazy imagination and everything like that. And it wasn't until I got into my 20s that I really started second guessing myself. I started, not having as much confidence as I usually would have, you know what I mean? On the surface, yes, but inside, when it was like time for me to do bigger things, like for instance, I launched a girls organization back in like 2016 called Violet Dreams, Girls Empowerment Organization. And it took me so long just to jump off. I likened it to, I feel like I'm on the curb, right, of the street. And you know how like the street is right there. You got to do a step off the curb into the street. The hardest thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like the hardest, just the hardest thing. And I believe in the back of my mind, I kind of I know where it stems from. Let's just start there. I know it stems from my childhood because I didn't have my dad when I was is that, why is it blinking? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I don't know why that light is doing that, but yeah, I know it comes from childhood because I didn't have my dad growing up. So that confidence wasn't instilled in me. I grew up in a household with my mom. I'm the youngest of three, and my mother. My brother and my sister. My sister's 6 years older than me. My brother's 9 years older than me. We did have a stepfather. Well, I had a stepfather. That was my brother and my sister's dad. Didn't get along with him. And my mother, she worked or whatever. So basically I was called a latchkey kid. I don't know if you new kids know, but that's when you're capable of like going to school, going home by yourself, like in fourth, grade, fifth grade, things like that or whatever. So, when I was raised up, like I kind of fended for myself. Like I had what I needed to have, but when it comes to that emotional piece, that emotional piece, yeah, didn't get that. You know, so I could be real hard, you know what I'm saying? Like real, I mean, I don't see myself being real hard, but people have told me I'm very tough. Um, you know, and yeah, I can see why. I can definitely see why. But getting back to what the video is about, getting out of your own head. Basically, I'm not gonna say I never had anything instilled in me, because I did have, you know, I was encouraged and I had good things poured into me by other people. But when you want it from who you want it from, it doesn't always hit. Um, it doesn't hit you the same if it's coming from somebody else. If it's coming from somebody else, if that makes sense. So meaning, like, I wanted to be um seen and heard and loved, and not that I wasn't loved or whatever, but you know, most of our parents, if you're a millennial, your parents probably a baby boomer, which means they didn't come from those I love you households or this and that. Like, you knew love was in the house, but you really didn't hear it as much, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and they don't even realize it. Another video for another day. But basically, yeah, I wasn't, you know, emotionally, I just wasn't poured into like that. Like, I had to figure things out for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be a singer. That kind of went away. I wanted to be a pediatrician. Can't even see me doing such a thing now. But, you know, like, you know how I feel like you're supposed to develop your children. Like, you're supposed to develop them, figure out what it is they like, what they're into, and, you know, you become very confident. Just look at the people who we know that was poured into. I'm just going to give a few examples. Like, say Serena and Venus Williams. Their father, they knew they wanted to play tennis from young, and their father wanted them to do that. And he poured into them. And now I'm sure you can't tell Venus or Serena that they're not the best. Not just because they won these championships, but even if they didn't, their dad instilled this confidence in them to the point where it's like, you're not going to tell me I'm not the best. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for them to even believe that, as opposed to somebody who's never really gotten that from a parent. So you kind of second guess yourself. That's the best way I could kind of describe it. I also have like some memories of, like, you know, growing up and having like different things that you know, graduation and prom, you know what I mean? Like school plays, things just not really made a big deal of when they should be made a big deal of, you know? And that sits with you. It may not stick with you, or it may not affect you when you're in your adolescence at that moment in that time, but oh oh, you will you will find out that you got some trauma up in there, right? So I grew up being, you know, pretty girl, long hair, brown skin girl. That's my hair, y'all. This was my hair. And I chose to come on to do this first video like this too. I'll get into why later on. But anyway, yeah, you know, so, and the people don't even want to hear about your insecurities when they feel like you got it made. Yeah, they feel like you got it made. So people don't really want to hear about your insecurities and what you're dealing with. But like I said, it wasn't until after college till I got a point where I wanted to do certain things in life and I didn't know which way to turn. I really had to figure it out for myself. Even when I got to college, I had to get there by myself. I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? People helped me on the other end, thank God. So I knew it was like destined for me to be there, because I got down there to Virginia State, the Virginia State University to be exact. Don't be a hater. Everybody can't go to one of the best HBCUs, you know, but it's all good. So anyway, I didn't even know what I wanted to do for school. Honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to major in. Ended up majoring in mass communications, radio and television, broadcasting, interned at BET, started working for Basketball Wives and Lala's Full Court Life, or early on when I graduated out of college, but then chose medical. I didn't know whether I wanted to stay in that, whether I wanted to do medical, because I'm thinking about things that I didn't get as a child, like, you know, dental and all of that other stuff. So it's like traumatic. I don't got time for that. I had really bad toothaches in college. As you can see, I have a really nice smile. So, you know, wanted to keep it together. But, you know, traumatized from that. So I'm like, maybe I should go into medical, because people think that medical healthcare is such a good It's just the way to go. Whatever. So I was doing both per diem for production. I mean, per diem at the hospital, and every time I get a production gig, I can take it, right? So ended up going that route, whatever one you choose, potato. And what happened? It was dope. Like I loved it. Never felt like I was at work, anything like that, right? But the thing was, it wasn't a lot of us. You know what I mean when I mean a lot of us. And when it's not a lot of us, or at least enough of us, we don't get the recognition. We don't get pulled up like we should. You know what I'm saying? We are there to just do the grunt work. And that's how people felt. And I felt that that's how it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Really didn't have anybody to go to who's ever been in this industry before to guide me, kind of. And my mom is the type, just pray about it. So there you have it. So I chose medical. I chose to go in medical full time or whatever. And, I stayed in it for a few years. I moved up. Every time I got another job, I moved up. Every time I thought I was worth more money, I left. And they didn't give it to me. I was gone. Whatever. So anyway, started my medical career. My healthcare career in 2010, I want to say. I was working at NYU, Langone Health in New York City. Oh God, when did I leave there? January 2021. Really was November 2021, but yeah, January 2021. Just got to a place where, and this is like the second time I'm here now, mind you, in my whole career. I get to a place where I'm like, I'm gonna move, or I'm gonna get back into TV some way, somehow. Not the easiest career to get back into, But I got back into it. I was able to get back into it. I left NYU. I prayed. God opened up a door for me. Got into it. Got back in TV. Small role, but it led on to some bigger things. So, ended up working for Nick Cannon for a while now because he shot in Jersey. And then I was offered to go to Vancouver, Canada for to shoot what's the show? Oh God, sorry. The shoot The Love Experiment, which aired on MTV, came on MTV August 15th. It was a pretty good show. Personally, I feel they got played. They should have got a second season, but shout out to those ladies, Tamara, Mars and Paige, beautiful ladies, and shout out to the guys that were on the show as well. But anyway, saying all that to say, it kind of worked out. Now, getting back into the industry is certain things that I've been wanting to do. And not only just in the industry, just in life, period. Like with my organization, with me moving from, the north to the south, with me wanting to do more in my career. You know what I mean? And one thing I've come across as like the number one reason I think that holds me back, well, me personally, is me being in my own head. They don't say like your mind is a powerful thing for a reason. Like your mind is really the most powerful thing that you have. Like your brain, your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? What you consume, like what goes into your psyche, and what, you know what I mean? Like what's processing in there. I know y'all have heard like people say like watch what you take in before you go to bed, or watch the first thing that you open your mind up to when you wake up, right? Me, I'll overthink. Like I'm the type, I'll overthink a scenario so bad. Shout out to my Aquarius, because I know y'all do this. I will overthink something so bad. I done had a cold conversation with myself and talk myself into it, out of it. You know what I mean? And then I start thinking like, well, who's gonna care? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna want this? Who am I to do this? That can't be me. That gotta be somebody else. And it's kind of like you just talk yourself out of something that you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's because you either get one, that imposter syndrome. That's a big one. I want to read a definition about imposter syndrome, because it's like a real thing. And a lot of people suffer from it, unfortunately. So, imposter syndrome. The persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's efforts or skills. How many people suffer from that? I'll wait. And whether you realize it or you don't realize it, you know what I'm saying? Um, it's definitely a thing, and it's a real thing. So you have like it's five different types of or five different subgroups of imposter syndrome, and that's the perfectionist, the superwoman or superman, right? The expert, the soloist, and the natural genius, which is crazy. So any one of those that applies to you, I think I'm the perfectionist. I want everything to be. I want to know that people are going to be there. I know somebody want to know somebody's going to get fed the information. I want to know that people are going to walk away with their hearts full. You know what I mean? I want to know all that. So that's not good for me because obviously it's not working in my favor. You know what I'm saying? If it's something for you to do on your heart, then you need to just get out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just really it. You just got to do it because the more you tell people, you know what I'm saying? And then, okay, you have to watch what you tell people as well, too. Because if you're anybody like me, when you're excited about something and you bring it to people that you love, you're bringing it to them because you want that, that validation. You want that excitement. You want their excitement to match your excitement. And unfortunately, usually that is not the case. I'm here to tell you right now, that's not the case. Okay, you got to get out of the notion that family and friends are going to be your number one supporters. I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you to keep you from going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I really am, because this is something that I couldn't get over. And in my mind, it's like, why wouldn't they support? They better support. That's how I think. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Not the case. It's not. You cannot make anybody. Everybody got their own thing going on, and some people just not going to see what you see. Unfortunately, sometimes it's going to take for you to be, big, bold, and famous, or whatever, or the money coming in for people to even recognize. Unfortunately, but if it does take that, hopefully you know who your people are and who your people are not. And sometimes, as hard as it is for people to take this in, and I had to learn this through not with just therapy. I think it's a part of my nature, like, period. If people are not reciprocating to you what you give off to them, so if you show up to things for them, if you are the friend to go to their events or family member, whatever, always supporting them, then you need to stop. If they're not reciprocating that for you or showing up in another way that's beneficial to you in your life, you need to stop doing that, because all you're going to do is put yourself in a space where you're going to be bitter, you're going to be upset, and you're going to feel like you keep putting yourself out there, but nobody is giving you what it is that you need, right? So get over that. Get over the family and friends being your number one supporters. Most likely it's going to come from people that you really don't know. All right? That's that. Now, that's a big reason, I'm telling you. A huge one. Another reason why we hold ourselves back and why we stay in our head. Social media. Social media. I call it the gift and the curse. You know why? Because the gift is that, like, technologically, we pop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are advanced. I mean, we'll be riding around like the Jetsons, I feel like, in a few years. Like cars in the air and everything. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have car airspace. That's what's going to have to happen. Because cars are going to be levitating and floating off the ground. I really do believe that. Great. You know what I'm saying? It puts us in the same room with the same people all around the world at the same time. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty great. It allows us interaction, like human interaction, when you have friends all over the place and you can't, you don't see them that much. You don't talk to them that much. Social media makes us feel like we're all like in the same bubble, right? But in the same token, social media is the devil. I'm serious. I am. Comparison. Everybody wants what everybody has. Nobody wants to work for what other people have worked for to get to where they are. You got the younger generation who They want instant gratification. They have entitlement. They don't feel like they should put in the work to get certain things. They feel like they should just have it. Period. You have people only posting the best of them, which, I mean, looks great. Like, of course you want to post the best picture that you have. Why wouldn't you? You know, of course you're going to post the best picture that you have. Of course you're going to edit your videos and post the best takes or the best, you know what I mean? It just makes sense. But I realized that people don't think like that. I didn't know that people took social media that serious until I was talking to one of my homegirls as something, and like, I guess somebody likes my pictures. One of her friends liked my pictures or whatever. And I guess I wasn't liking her pictures. This is so childish at this age. I'm 37. I ain't got time. Oh yeah, I told y'all my age. I should have let y'all guess. But anyway, yeah, like, and ask the person, like, did I not like them anymore because I didn't like any of their pictures on social media? I still can't believe it, to be honest, but it was a very real situation. Excuse me, y'all. It was a very real situation, and I was just like, wow, people really take this serious. And this was a few years ago. So I could imagine now. You know what I'm saying? But it's really sad. I find it extremely more sad that I expect the kids to get sucked in. You know what I mean? But adults, you 25 and older, well, 30 and older, you got to go up these ages. People back then, I feel like ages were way more. People were more mature at certain ages than they are now. You know what I'm saying? Like 25-year-old back in the day were much more mature than these 25-year-olds, and vice versa. But yeah, it's social media. Turn it off. Turn it off. Because if you don't, y'all like my glasses? Hey, I just wanted to put them on so y'all can see the other side of me. These are my glasses. The doctor said I'm going to need them in a few more years. They're trying to make me blind. But anyway, so yeah, stop comparing yourself. Like, it's just not worth it. And my whole thing is, like, you're comparing yourself to what? You pissing yourself off, making yourself jealous, and getting all bent out of shape and worked up and worked out. When, one, you don't even know what this person did to get to where they are, right? You don't know what's going on behind those walls, meaning what a person has to deal with to maintain whatever it is they're dealing with, or like, you don't know. And you also don't know how much that person been praying, and working towards something just to have whatever it is that they have. So even if it's a nice car, whether it's a nice house, and also you never know, you praying for, it's one thing to pray that you want something, like you aspire to have something like someone, right? But it's a whole nother thing to be jealous and want somebody's life or want what somebody else has. You don't know, somebody could be getting bust upside their head. How many people have been getting bust upside their heads and y'all still want somebody's life? Look at Cassie. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say Kiki because Kiki's new. That's a new situation. But how many situations have come out and people been getting, abused or hit or whatever, and that's because they want a lifestyle. And I'm not saying that comes with every type of, upgraded lifestyle or luxurious lifestyle. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, stop comparing yourself to people, because people have worked hard for things that they've acquired. And even if they didn't, why would you compare yourself to them in that aspect either? Because they're not going to keep it long. You know what I'm saying? Pray for what it is that you want. Work towards those things that you want, and let God make that happen for you. Like, it's not, God does not, it's not going to come like that. You comparing yourself, wanting what other people have, that don't even make no sense. Like, want what you want for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do good so you can have better things in life, and stop being upset and bitter looking at the next person because of what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? And praying for their downfall and their demise, because I know people out there doing it. But anyway, That's one thing. So yeah, you can't be comparing yourself to people and feeling like, because that puts you in a place to make you feel less than, and you're not less than. Nobody is less than, for sure. Um, Self depreciation. I think I'm guilty of this. Let me see how I put my head down. That's me. That's conviction. Self depreciations. I'm reading from this article in Forbes. I'll put the link to the article down below or whatever. But it says every time you get close to greatness, fear likes to creep in. We don't always know how easily we let fear deteriorate our potential. Imagine this: you're in your comfort zone, surrounded by green grass. The sun is shining, and you are sitting in your favorite chair. Everything is peachy. Everything is good. But then you start reading a book or scrolling through the internet and get a glimpse of something bigger than this green patch. You get an idea for an epic trip, a business venture, or your own book, and your wheels start to turn, right? You stand up from your place and start to walk toward opportunity. Then you realize there's a wall surrounding your comfort zone. And the closer you get to the wall, there are people walking around. There's a border patrol. The more you try to inch out of your comfort zone, the more they try to stop you. It's for your own safety. You are fine in your comfort zone. Why would you want to leave? Because everything you want is just outside of your comfort zone. That's why you want to leave. I know, as an Aquarius, right? And I'm saying this to say, because I know people gonna be like, oh, why does she keep talking about her sign? Because I am I am definitely one. Okay, I am one to the T, I feel like. But anyway, I say that to say, I know everything I want is outside of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? I know I need to step out. And most of us do. We know we need to step out, but we have our own thoughts keep us limited. And not only our own thoughts, like we let what other people say creep in and seep into what we know to be true. Like we know this to be true, but yet, damn, maybe I shouldn't do that because she said it might not turn out that way. Or yeah, he said maybe I'm not ready because financially I shouldn't. Or I don't have everything, all my ducks in a row, so maybe I should just look. That's how it is. And before you know it, this will be your third time around, and you'll be sitting here like this. And when I say third time around, I just say I feel like was my third time to get this thing together. When it comes to, am I going to do this YouTube page? Am I going to just sit around and keep looking at people that I love on YouTube and watch them do it and not be motivated enough to get on here and do it myself? And it's never that I can't hold a conversation, because I can. But if you're on my page, and you'll probably notice that I had tried some podcasts. I tried that podcast like twice, actually, and wanted other people to do it with me. I had friends to come along, but I was like basically producing the thing myself. I want like people who reciprocate what I have going on. I don't want to be just the one bouncing ideas off. I want to bounce ideas off and have somebody to bounce them back off to me. You know what I mean? But you're awesome. I just want to let people know, regardless of whatever it is that's holding you back, don't listen to your parents if that's the case too, because I know a lot of people listen to their parents. And your parents want, I learned your parents want, my mother's a worrier. Oh, she will worry, honey. Whoo, she a worry to the point where, like, you try not to be like somebody and you start becoming just like them. That happens. That happens a lot. But you gotta not let what people say get into your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, have to understand that people see things from their own perception and their own circumstances. And what I mean by that is, don't go to somebody and tell them your great news about your idea that you have about wanting to do, just something just crazy, like seems impossible but not impossible. That's not like a dreamer, like, or somebody who can see visions of things from afar, because they'll make you look crazy, or you'll feel crazy. They're gonna make you look crazy, but you'll feel like you're crazy, or you'll feel like your ideas are too big, or you'll feel like you're too small for your ideas. You know what I mean? Or you'll feel like God will. was that God that put it in me? You know, like, was that God that put that in my heart? Or maybe that's just something I just thought about on my own, you know? We have to stop doing that. Like, we really do, because other people only see from where they are. They don't see your vision. And that's a whole nother, that goes back to, like, don't think your friends and your family are going to be your biggest supporters sometimes, because, you know, sometimes they just see you for who you are to them. They don't see, you know, everything that they probably should. But yeah. So I just want to let anybody know, or I just want to tell anyone, if you're holding yourself back, you're going to have to get out of your own way, because it's nobody but you. You're awesome. You're fearfully and you're wonderfully made. Everything that you need is already inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if God is for you, who can be against you? That's just the biggest thing. Like, if God puts something in your heart, He's gonna see it through, to the end. You know what I mean? And I know it's easier said than done, but I have to tell myself this. You know what I'm saying? I really, and I also started this YouTube because I want to see my journey from today, when I finally decided to come on here and talk to you guys, right, to whatever's gonna happen in the future. I don't know. From tomorrow and the next day to next year, like, I want to know, like, what's gonna happen. You have all that it takes. You have everything that you need to be inside. Everything that you need is already inside you. It might be a little difficult, might not be the same, but if God put it in you, He's going to supply the people that you need. He's going to supply everything that you need. And as I tell you this, I have to tell myself. So let's encourage each other. Let's encourage each other on these journeys and get out of our own head. Believe that we have everything in us for greatness, for success. I don't care how big the idea is or how small, or the idea or the goal. It doesn't really matter. We have to believe that we were put here for certain things and certain reasons. And that if God brought us to it, that He's not gonna hold anything back from us. And I know everybody knows the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, I believe it is. But I'm going to read it to end this podcast, because I just think that it's a great scripture, and it just speaks to, excuse me, it just speaks to everything about how God feels about us, you know. And yes, I'm a Christian, guys. I'm not sitting here trying to convert anybody, but my prayer is that you see Christ, you know, through me, through my words. And when He really wants me to speak about certain things and certain topics, that it's not me you hear, but you hear, you know, through Him. I am not the most pristine. Because I'm not the most pristine, but I definitely grew up in church, and I'm thankful for growing up in church. And not about growing up in the church, but growing up with that spiritual foundation. I find a lot of us who have a spiritual foundation, we pretty much, they say in the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go. And I feel that for the most part, people with that type of foundation are very much more grounded, you know, like decent people, good people. And I'm not saying atheists are not, I don't know any atheists. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, for what I do know, that when you're spiritually grounded, it definitely helps. And you need that in the times where you feel inadequate, insufficient, not enough, not seen, not heard, not appreciated, misunderstood, unloved. It's not always going to be a person in the flesh that can console you in those ways that you need to be consoled when you have in those moments. When I'm talking about those moments when, you know, you're like in a fetal position, or you in a house and it's just dark and you're not motivated and you don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's when my faith comes in. Not that my faith comes in all around me, but I felt God in those moments. You know what I'm saying? Where, I could understand, I could totally understand. And this is, I don't have any suicidal ideations at all. Like, I'm very much intact, and I don't want to take myself out of here. But I will say, there are moments in life where you can understand why people, and I know it's so that's you got to be in a dark place, you know what I mean, for that. But I do understand when you feel like you just not, like you know a lot of people, but nobody's seeing you. You know what I'm saying? You're not, nobody's seeing you, and then you have these self deprecating thoughts like, you're not good enough, I'm not adequate enough. And then don't let you try to call somebody, they don't pick up the phone. Woo. You know what I'm saying? I can understand. So I want to leave you with this scripture. If you ever feel inadequate, if you ever feel like you're not enough, if you ever feel that you don't have what it is inside of you that you need to bring out whatever God placed in you. God put it all in there. He knew that he knew that I was going to be procrastinating about this podcast before I even got here. You know what I'm saying? So he gives us grace. We got to give ourselves some grace, people. We must. You deserve it. Think about all the people you give grace to and tolerate. What? You better give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. Okay, so I just want to leave y'all with this scripture for this first episode. Ooh, look at that. Almost done. All 3 years, and I can't even get this. Anyway, Jeremiah 29:11. Write this scripture down. If you don't have it, put it on your wall. Put it in your favorite notebook, in your journal, whatever you need to do. Read it every day, so that way you know for sure that you know that you know. Okay? What happened to it? Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. YouTube is... But anyway, the scripture reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Okay? That means I know, like, God knows. Like, I knew you was going to deal with this. I knew you was going to go through it, but do not be dismayed. I got a plan for you. You just got to work towards that plan, you know? Yeah, I'm going to leave you with that, because I think that's pretty much enough to let you know that you don't have to get confirmation and validation from anybody. Just do it. Just do it. And I also want to give a shout out to some people that inspire me on YouTube. I listen to like every day, and I hope they see this. And not just see it, but I just hope they see it because I want them to know that they're really touching people and they are inspiring people, and it's appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So for future YouTubers, I wanted to shout out with Sherelle's World. I love them, Sherelle and Perry. They are hilarious. I love y'all. Who else do I listen to? Tasha K. I like Tasha K. That's my girl. I know she gonna do some things, but that's my girl. I also like ATLian, Michelle ATLian. I love her. Her intro. Michelle, who did your intro? Can they do mine? Cause I'll get demonetized. For real, all the time. Make it make sense. I just really started watching him. He's very funny. And you know what? I really appreciated him on that, when that thing happened with Kiki. And I'm only saying it because he was so, emotional. Not emotional, but sentimental about it. It's just certain things I pick up from people that I just love on YouTube. Shout out to, Tony Gaskins. Tony, thank you. As a woman who really tries to understand, like, man, I just try to understand a lot of things. I like to research and I like to know for sure. But like, I definitely was hurt before. We gonna get into all of that, honey, on here. I was definitely hurt before, being young and dumb. But Tony breaks things down, and I know he get a lot of flack from the sisters And it's probably because they in situations and they do not want to hear it. We do not, when women, we have our mindset or whatever, we don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to love you down to the ends of the earth until we out there looking stupid on that curb, cold, and crying. But anyway, shout out to him. I appreciate you. Who else do I listen to all the time? I really wanted to shout out the YouTubers. Jovi Beauty, I listen to her sometime. Tisa Tell, that's my girl. So Impressive, Chronicle Speaks, all y'all. I love y'all. Yeah, I just thought I'd shout you guys out because you guys have inspired me to come on and to come on without needing a full production. And you know what I mean when I say that, because I thought I needed studio, everything. What I got up this morning, I got me a little space in the background. You know what I'm saying? I just got my plants. You see that? Got my little plants back there and my little D. And I just said, I'm just going to get up and do it. I don't care. I've been had this ring light. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope that you know that you don't need confirmation. You don't need validation. You don't need anything else to know that you are him or you are her. He already ordained you to be that person. And stop trying to be everybody else except for you. Your superpower is yourself. Nobody else is going to get on here and do what I do. Or say it how I say it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody going to look how I look. You know what I mean? And be comfortable with yourself, too. And I came on here like this because this is just me. This is me regularly every day. And I feel like we've got out of ourselves and being comfortable in who we really are. And I always got nails on. I got no nails. And I don't know what's been going on. They've been falling off. And usually my nails grow out with my nails. But, biting your nail habit, that's not a habit that go away in 30 days. Don't judge me. Mind your business, because I didn't even have to tell you that. But what I'm saying is, listen, it's you. It's all about you. So I hope this inspires somebody to get out there and do something that they've been wanting to do, away from their friends, away from it. You don't need nobody. Just go out there, find the resources, and do it yourself. And stop thinking that you need a whole big thing. Just do what you can. Take the steps that you can while you can. And I promise you, God is going to meet you. God is going to meet you where you are, because he promised us that that's what he was going to do. So I got on here. You feel me? God knows what's in my heart. He knows what I want to do. And I'm sure that he's going to meet me, and you guys are going to come along on the journey, and we're going to uplift each other. We're going to empower each other, and we're going to be at the top together. Not that crabs in the barrel mentality. Please like and subscribe. I got to get my followers up, y'all. I don't got no followers. I got 54. I think at the time of this video, we're going to get into some things, honey, on this page. And I don't know who said that. That ain't no cop. That's just, listen, we're going to get into it. I want to talk about a lot of trauma, honey, because we don't want to talk about that trauma, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that childhood trauma. That's another thing that holds us back too, and we don't even realize it. Why? Because we don't want to go to therapy. So yeah, I'm going to have some therapists up here. I'm going to try to get some interviews. You guys, if you see this video, please like, comment, subscribe so that you know when I drop videos. I'm going to be trying to drop 3 or more videos every week, because I have so much stuff I want to talk about. Everything. You know what I'm saying? We'll build it up, and we're going to all grow together. We're going to work together, and we're going to get to where we got to get to together. Right? All right. So please comment. Leave me some encouragement. Leave me some encouragement down below. If any of the people that I watch like this video, give me some pointers, y'all. I need everything that I can get. I don't mind. I need a mentor in this YouTube game. Because with my Aquarius mind, I'll be all over the place. And I'm not ashamed. Gang. Aqua gang, that is. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I'm just excited that I did this video. So I'm going to go and I'm going to fix it all up and I'm going to post it. And thank you for coming. And I'll catch you back here live on the set with D. That's me. Peace out.